All right, let's dive right into a story that begins not on our world, but way up in the highest heavens. It's a dark fable, really, about a celestial wager that puts the human soul itself on trial. So our story kicks off not with a bang, but with a whisper, a voice that sounds like the clinking of coin in a dark room. Now that's the kind of sound that cuts right through the harmony of the heavens, and it belongs to a very, very different kind of celestial being.
Okay, so you've got the high courts of heaven, right? The archangels are singing these ancient praises of creation. It's all splendor and eternal harmony. And then he shows up, Mammon, the spirit of more. And the contrast is just stark. While the angels look up, Mammon's gaze is always downward bent. He's literally staring at the golden pavement, admiring the trodden gold. And he doesn't roar. He has this chilling, silken merchant's whisper.
And this right here is his whole argument against us, against humanity. He just scoffs at the whole project. Thy creation is a hollow vessel, he says. You gave them a soul to search for you, but I gave them a stomach to search for, well, for stuff. It's this incredibly cynical bet he's making that our physical needs will always, always overpower our spiritual goals. So, to prove his point, Mammon proposes a test. He's got a candidate in mind, a man named Vesperus, and he gives him this wild title, the Inverted Nazarene. What does that even mean? Well, think of a holy person, someone who's taken sacred vows, but their devotion gets twisted, warped to serve profit instead of God. It is the ultimate corruption of holiness. And check out how he plans to do it. It's a perfect twisted reflection. You take Samson, a Nazarene who got strength from his hair to break chains. Well, Vesperus will be convinced to shave his head to accept the chains of avarice. Or Jesus, with a crown of thorns to save the soul. Vesperus will chase a crown of gold to enslave it. Every sacred symbol gets flipped on its head for material gain. And there it is. The wager is on the table. Mammon asks for just 24 years with Vesperus. And he's so confident. He says, I shall not use force, because his power isn't about brute strength. It's in the glittering illusion of worth. This isn't a battle of swords. It's a battle for the mind, a game of persuasion to prove that a man's soul has a price tag. The Lord allows it. The trial is on. And boom, just like that, the clock starts ticking. 24 years. Mammon heads down to Earth, to a place called Prosperitas, to find his target and get to work. So who do we find on Earth? Our supposed holy man, Vesperus, is now a fella named Bartholdus, and his job? He's a usurer, a moneylender, with a sharp wit and even sharper scales. Love that line. His heart is described as a dry well. Basically, he's already empty inside, just waiting for something to fill that void. He is the perfect candidate. Now, Bartholdus doesn't just practice greed in private. Oh no, he takes it public. He gets up in the marketplace and starts preaching this new philosophy of the underman. It's a complete rejection of the spiritual. He's championing the soul that has grown weary of the stars and seeks only the glitter of the gutter. He's literally telling people to stop looking up and start looking down. Then we get this absolutely pivotal moment. A tightrope walker, a great symbol for life's fragile balance, right? He falls and dies. The crowd is horrified. But Bartholdus? Stone cold. He just says he had no capital, therefore he had no soul. Wow. In a single sentence, he lays out his entire philosophy. Your worth as a human is your net worth. That's it. And that's the last piece of the puzzle. The pact is sealed. So first, Bartholdus preaches the gospel of greed. Next, Mammon appears, offering him the world, limitless wealth for 24 years. And finally, Bartholdus, completely blinded by that glittering illusion, signs the contract, which is written on human skin. He's now the master of markets. So this spirit of more that Mammon represents, it really starts to sink its teeth in. But this isn't some sudden, flashy transformation. It's described as a slow poison, corrupting everything it touches, starting with a man and then seeping out into the entire city. And you can see just how deep this poison goes. It utterly dehumanizes Bartholdus. He literally forgets what bread tastes like. He only knows its price. He sees his own children as investments. His friends, their liabilities. He's so obsessed with owning things that he wants to acquire the actual ruins of his city. He cannot see the world through any lens except profit and loss. And his influence spreads like a plague. The king starts seeing his people only as
taxable heads. Priests measure righteousness by the weight of donations. The law becomes a spider's web that only traps the weak, and the poor are just dismissed as refuse. Prosperitas isn't a community anymore. It's a machine built on exploitation.
But remember that clock? Well, it's been ticking all this time. And now, the 24th year arrives. Time is up. A great trembling seizes Bartholdus. He flees to his vault, foolishly thinking his mountains of gold can protect him. And then, the clock strikes midnight.
Mammon is back. But he's not the shimmering figure from heaven. Not anymore. Now he's a colossus of molten slag. His appearance finally reflects the true nature of unchecked greed. It's horrifying, it's destructive, and it's all-consuming.
And then, the demon delivers this chilling judgment. You have gathered much, Bartholdus. Now you shall be gathered. The wordplay is terrifying, isn't it? All the wealth he spent his life collecting is now coming to collect him.
The gold doesn't just kill him, it transforms him. It liquefies, pouring over him until he becomes the very thing he worshipped, a solid gold statue. An object of immense value, but totally lifeless, his face frozen in an expression of eternal agony. He's become a prisoner of his own treasure. That same night, the city's fate mirrors its master's. A fire, ignited by the resentment of the hungry, tears through Prosperitas. The social decay, the inequality, all of it just erupts into literal flames. So what is his final legacy? A golden statue, a monument to greed, now lost and buried in the ashes of a city that had completely forgotten its soul. He gained everything, and in the end, he and his entire world were just erased. This whole story really pulls back the curtain on Mammon's true power. It's not force. It's the glittering illusion. He promises happiness through accumulation. He equates what you own with who you are. And that creates endless anxiety, endless fear of loss. This system thrives on comparison, making sure no one is ever truly content. It's a trap with no exit. The story leaves us with this timeless, piercing question, straight from the Bible. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? It really forces you to confront the ultimate cost of putting profit before your own integrity. And when you look at the final balance sheet, it's brutal. Bartholdus's gain, limitless wealth. His loss, his soul. And Prosperitas, it lost its entire community. The pursuit of infinite gain resulted in total catastrophic loss, not just for him, but for everyone. And so, this old fable about a golden gaze and a hollow heart leaves us with one final, provocative question to think about. Where is Mammon's marketplace today,